a linear motion, look like a picture level. You know, a level has got a bubble in the middle of the top line. You're trying to hang a picture, and you put that level up. The bubble's got to be in the middle. So basically, those two little jelly beans, the other ones I was just talking about, when that bubble goes out, it fires information of its range. Out, it fires information of its range. Out, 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 out. Whatever comes out of that center point, it fires information.
Right.
Okay? So, as you can now see, physical activity oftentimes is not the most thoughtful vestibular input. Your kid could be on the go, running around the yard like a lunatic, and you might not fully satiate their vestibular system that needs input, because your head needs to move in all of those different
Which is
planes.
like why he likes to go walk.
Right, because it's easy.
Right. Which I've known, but it's like
easy. It's a very low load on the vestibular system. You're really just activating
kind of like
that
watching
one.
television.
Well, that's even lower because you're sitting still.
Yeah.
But when you're moving or walking in particular, you're getting a little bit of vestibular because clearly you can feel gravity on you, so that's one part of vestibular. And then you're basically just walking, you're just gently moving that bubble so gently out of that mid-range.
Right.
You're also keeping your head upright. Your vestibular system, when it's sitting upright, if I'm standing perfect, or like I am right now, and I'm still, and my head is upright, nothing is happening in my vestibular system. Nothing. It's totally quiet. It's totally at rest. So if you're walking, especially if you're not walking too fast, minimal challenge at lower the vestibular system, which for a child who does not feel posturally secure, does not feel comfortable with certain sensory inputs, is exactly where they want to be. It's one step above sitting and playing with puzzles all afternoon.
Right.
See what I mean? So the challenge becomes meeting them halfway, essentially, because you can't just avoid these systems. You need them, and the more you don't use them, you will fall further and further behind. Because the larger picture of this umbrella is that all those sensory systems work for the good of arousal, like I discussed with you, and regulation and coping and frustration. That's not just a social maturity element, it's actually a arousal regulatory mechanism in your nervous system. So that is for that. But the vestibular system is also eloquently the foundation for everything that is motor plant.
Right, I can see it. And that's why you say the beach is therapeutic, because if you're walking on the sand,
well, the beach is therapeutic because it's so indulgent to so many
and if you get in or get in the pool several times a day, like
you get in the water, there's resistance. The proprioceptors, all your joint spaces are altering. Proprioception everywhere that the body's being resisted by water. So whatever submerges is getting exercise, it's getting proprioception. The water makes deep pressure like a big old hug around anything that it's surrounding. The movement in water, you tend to change the position of your head. Often as you're moving around, you get some more vestibular. If you change the plane of your body and you're on your belly or you're on your back, even better. So you jump into the pool, even better.
Right.
You know
Yeah, he likes to do that.
So that stuff is good stuff. And the water is kind of in some ways comforting when you have the right amount of flotation. It's kind of nurturing in many ways. It also sometimes gives you some buoyancy that makes it easier to move certain ways. So that's so good. Walking in the sand, lots of proprioception, lots of pressure, digging in the sand, filling buckets, dragging little buckets of water, scooping and pouring, all great proprioception. You know, every time that his head comes out of this element into something else, awesome. So when I have kids that are afraid of vestibular, because he really looks to be very hyper responsive, I don't have to wrestle kids on dissuades.
Right.
Naturally, with a developing system that's typical, it's a good thing. It feels good. It's fun.
Right.
So when I do, it's telling me something is very not typical.
Right.
So how do we work on that with children? Well, the last thing we're going to do, well, not the last thing, the first thing we're going to do is not going to be on the swing.
Right.
We are going to work on land. And we're going to look where they feel like they are on terra firma, like they are standing, they are kneeling, they are sitting, they are doing all of those things, and then bending their head out of that element.
Right.
So he could be sitting like this, and I might stretch something over here. So
I saw you do that.
Pick up, or I might do this, where he's feeling as grounded as possible, however he needs to. Why does he want to be, kid? You get him be leaning up against the wall.
And just moving his head.
And just getting used to that feeling.
Right.
That's how I would start with a child with them.
That's why you can't jump.
Yeah.
Can't move your
Why
head.
would you jump?
Right.
Because think about it. If you don't feel comfortable with this much, like think of like octopus tentacles.
Yeah.
And stick yourself on like a nice sticky pad, and then basically say, jump. Be like, why on earth would I want to jump when I'm doing this much?
I didn't
just
know
to stay
that,
stable?
but I always would say, I don't think he feels like that's safe.
No.
So it's that's like the primitive part of it, like it's not safe, so I'm not going to do this.
It's not safe because he knows that my body can't support that narrow design of jumping. My body is having trouble enough when my feet are attached to the floor. Why would I take them off
And
the
even
floor?
when we walk, walk, I do, because that's like a calming thing, but also like there's a little wall near our house. Like we practice just climbing up the wall.
Yep.
That kind of thing.
But that's good stuff. You see how much your body's
we're
in
going up the
contact.
curb. Like sometimes if it's a small enough curb, he'll take the leap and lift his foot up instead of climbing.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think the reason he's doing that, we used to think there was something called gravitational insecurity. It's since been disproven, but I swear to goodness, I still do see it now and again, because clinically it was very rare, in certain ways it was rare to see it. There's certain kids that there's no other reasoning that makes sense for this, so I'm still not a true believer it's not in existence. But basically children who might like movement but have this insecurity of leaving the ground essentially, so that they will love to swing as long as they can keep one toe kind of like swishing back, or one finger, it's something that just gives them an anchor point. And I still see kids that are just so selective in their postural security that they can't trust their body fully. And I think that's what's going on with him. I think he knows his limits very well. I think he's probably taken several spills and good ones, and that he says, no, I'm smart. I'm a smart cookie. I'm not a dummy. I don't want to keep falling.
Like ride on toys. He just has no.
But again, anything in motion, if your body doesn't work well in static, why would it go dynamic?
So there's no reason to even get on a ride on toy.
Not really, other than the fact you might like the pushing aspect of it. Like you might get that from
the only thing I've seen him do lately that I thought, well, that's something, is to step on his sister's scooter. He steps on it.
Up,
and it's all he can do just to step on it and not tip over. There's no
because again, that midline that we were talking about, remember it's like out here. Now to go and step, well, you can't stay out here. Good, if you do, you're gonna fall just for other reasons. But so in order to do that, he's gonna narrow his support, come into this range, which is not his stability range anyways. Now lift, hello, I'm so out of my element, literally. And now he can't maintain that narrow base and then put a balance challenge on top of that. I want to get you going, because I don't want you to be late for your appointment.
It's at 11.
Oh, it is? Okay, I just want to make sure. All right, so vestibular is, like I said, that foundation for everything. So it's chewing, it's suck, swallow, breathe. It's being able to make letters. It's being able to be creative in your play space. It's being able to stay engaged in activity. It's being able to expand your play. Because guess what kids who don't have all of that do? They love to do the same thing over and over again. They have very specific preferred activities, and they often are repetitive with the nature of the theme of the activity. Cars are a perfect example. You're just placing or moving.
And my son Russell was really like he would have done cars or trains for hours.
Part of that's developmentally appropriate at a certain age, but at a different age.
No, he was like this age or 3.
Yeah, okay.
He did not want to touch anything in his hand.
And what I want this little guy to start doing is to start using them differently, more creatively.
Like putting them down a slide.
Yeah, something. You know what I mean? Stacking things up, putting them on the top, putting them all underneath, putting them all through the garage, through the top. Like just an expansion of those plans.
And he does like his garage.
So that might be a good place to start, something that's familiar, something that's liked, to really start drawing out what else can we do with the cars, what else can we do? Because what I'm seeing right now is a kid that's got very primitive motor ideation. So in this room, there's plenty to do, and a lot of it's fairly self-explanatory. If you went up to it and looked at it and tooled around with it for a second,
I think of his little friend Scott, who's just bouncing off the walls,
And his search and discovery mission looks like this. Okay, I'm done. We're done. There's nothing more to be done with those. I've done everything you can do with them. Well, clearly you have it. We can put them in, we can put them out, we can throw them, we can bring them over here, we can set them up like So clearly we have it. Same thing with something like this. A kid would take this piece of equipment. To be honest with you, most of the equipment in here, you have other kids, so you have some reference point. Most of the equipment in here, I don't have to work too hard to get them to use it.
Oh yeah, my kids, when they go to therapy, they're in the ball pit. They were dying to do
it's not something that should really require people to be like, well, you're a new person, it's a new place. I'm like, I get it, but the matter of fact is I've seen thousands of 2-year-olds, and I'll tell you, or 3-year-olds, and 4-year-olds, and 5-year-olds, that I don't. It's not the way it should be. It's not typical. It's typical to be like, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to look down. Maybe I'll throw elbow down first. Maybe I'll slide the block down first. Maybe I'll look at something else and toss that down. Then maybe I'll look at it. Then maybe I'll come to this side. Maybe I'll look at it some more. Maybe I'll take this off. Maybe I'll put this on. Maybe I'll put my leg on it. Maybe I'll sit on it. Maybe I'll laugh. Maybe I'll. And that's a beautiful example of motor ideation, motor planning, motor execution, motor feedback, motor thinking. That's what I'm not seeing.
Yeah, I agree.
And that is also why children will stay in very rudimentary play and exploration patterns,
Right.
where they are appearing much younger, or they're content with much younger pursuits, because to them, basically, if they just do the same thing over and over again, there's no expansion necessary. There's no motor thinking necessary.
Right.
I'll just keep on doing it. This is rhythmic, it's calming, it's soothing, it's repetitive. I'll just keep on, and this works for me. But what we need to see in order to become skillful is we need to be very creative with our body. We need to build lots of motor ideas, and then we have to take them into groups.
And how does that relate then to this whole speech thing?
Speech is funny enough, I mean, not funny enough, but people forget. They think of speech therapists as speech, and they think of OTs as fine motor and hands or what have you. But I will tell you, a misnomer is that speech, the production of speech, feeding as well, and breathing, are all sensory-based elements.
Right.
All of them. And they are all fine motor skills. Right. So they're exactly like I work on with pencils and crayons.
Well, Lori said, she made it sound like the vestibular system is more of a problem. Like, we certainly want to fix his tongue. If that's a problem, fix that.
Yeah,
you're
but
not really going to talk,
but the
right?
root is the vestibular system is what the problem is, because basically, and then how do we fix that? How do we help resolve that? I should say, is that the first thing we do is we expand their card file of motor ideas. We don't leave them content in just playing with my cars my way. We continue to bring new elements in to expose them to new elements. Oh, look what so-and-so is doing. If your kids are playing with him, to be like, oh, show him how you put the car in the car wash, and show him how you put it. That would be one way. So you keep adding new ideas in hopes that he will take them on as his own, or at least see, look, observe, take that information, store it back here, pull it out another time when he's playing to expand his play.
How about teaching sounds?
Well, it's the same kind of thing. Basically, you expose them to as much as possible, but a child like this would benefit from a sensory approach that's going to indulge as many systems as once. Because if we assume they're all not tuning out and listening well, we're going to want to come at it, not overwhelming, not so we're going at it from all angles, but we want to say, how do I help the tongue feel where it is better? Well, let's see, I'm going to wake up the mouth first, or I might wake it up with vibration, I might wake it up with chewing, I might wake it up by pressing on the tongue, and then I'm going to speak. So that is a good modality.
It doesn't seem like it helped.
Well, here's the problem, because remember, you're working at the end factor instead of the beginning.
Right.
And remember I told you, if you continue to work on end pieces, you're going to make progress, but it will be slow and it will not be at the caliber and rate. I saw that. I didn't look back because I was afraid I was going to get one of those scorning looks.
I wonder if he knows you're there more than you think he is. Like, is it more of a...
In the beginning, I think he could care less because he literally was stepping all over me.
But now, like, he's avoiding you.
Yes.
I mean, he's got it enough to know, like, you're not somebody I want to...
You're going to make me do those things that are hard for me, and that's not okay. But, oopsie. Are you okay? You okay?
Are you okay?
So basically, we need to fix the vestibular system because that is the foundation zone for where all fine motor comes from. Your speech fine motor, your hand fine motor, your body fine motor. Okay? And so that, but I'm telling you, your vestibular system is your weakest link.
Right.
And the other thing is, remember those two sets of tubes that you mentioned to me were obviously because of what? Fluid, infections, what?
Yeah, infections.
Both? How many?
Well, he had one all the time.
So yeah, it was just constant on
like 5 and 6 weeks.
From when? From how young?
So for about 3 months until he got his tubes, and he was like maybe 11 months the first time.
So when it first started, it was 11 months?
No, probably 8.
8 months. Oh, that's when the infection. So the first of the tubes were
at 11.
At 11 months. Okay.
And then the one tube fell out in like early October this past year, and then we had the new tubes within 6 weeks or something. And we did not do his adenoids because of this question of if there was any velopharyngeal soft palate. There was something going on that we didn't know about you don't want to take the adenoids out because that can make it worse
Okay.
with the air. So we didn't do that.